I'm all set here. I'm now going to go here because I usually give my football picks with DraftKings. I don't have a sponsor. If a sportsbook wanted to sponsor me, just hit me up. Um, yeah, and once I get my refund, we'll be live all day Saturday. A Silicon Valley girl, and if you follow me on X at Joe Quills, I will update probably by the very latest Friday morning. So just to let you guys know. So I was looking for something else here on DraftKings first, but let's go over to the games here on Sunday. And I'm going to give the Eagles game pick last. So let's begin with the late game. Kansas City and Buffalo. Kansas City is only a 1.5 point favorite here. Um, Now, here's the one thing here I'm going to tell you guys right now. And whoops, a little too much there. So, one thing I'm going to tell you guys, and this is benefit for you guys here. Um, if you're going to play the Buffalo Bills, if you think Buffalo is going to win the game, especially with this short line, there is a very slim chance that Kansas City wins this game by 1 point and you win there. If they're going to cover this 1.5, they're going to win that game outright. So that's one thing I would say is if you're on the Buffalo side, why go here plus 1.5 at minus 105 when you can go here for plus 105 because if you win the game outright, you're not getting as much money back. So let's say I put that $100 in, I will get 175.23 back or 195.23 back. Whereas if I put in the money line for $100, I get 205 back. And sometimes you have to realize that maybe the chances of this coming in and Kansas City winning is not good. So that's something that I would tell you guys with that. Now, I've been saying this for a while now. One of the groups that I follow is Action Labs, and Scotty there is a Kansas City fan. I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know if he's originally from Kansas City or something like that, or he was just like the kid that always rooted for the team that was against the teams in that city. So the one thing I've been saying to him for a while now, as Kansas City has racked up one possession win after one possession win, eventually they're going to lose a one possession game. And a lot of people are riding Buffalo right now. And, also I don't think Buffalo is the type of team that's going to complain about the referees the way that um, the way that Houston did this past week. Even though some of those um, complaints were valid, but Buffalo's been here, Kansas City's been here. I think that maybe we might finally see a changing of the guard here. And Buffalo beat my AFC team that I had going to the Super Bowl from the very beginning of the year, and that was the Baltimore Ravens last weekend. Baltimore, bad luck once again. Um, Mark Andrews dropped that 2 point conversion pass, which would have tied the game. We would have had our second overtime under the new rules. But I'll tell you what, I got a feeling about this game, and I get the feeling that Kansas City is about to lose a one-score game because they are due. And I will tell you right now, that left end zone that you will see in New Orleans in 2 weeks will be painted in red, white, and blue because I'm taking the Buffalo Bills at plus 105 on the money line here. So Buffalo plus 1.5, plus 105, and they go to the Super Bowl. The early game. And the reason why on Sunday I am getting up at 3:30 in the morning after going to Gulfstream Park and probably to a hockey game after that. Commanders and Eagles. Eagles get their third straight playoff home game. It'll be their fifth home game in a row. And Eagles, I admit, got lucky. They had that lead. And heard a crazy stat here. When the Eagles win in the playoffs, Jalen Hurts does not throw for 200 or more yards. And Jake Elliott misses extra points. Both of those have happened in 2022 playoffs and this year's playoffs. They're 4-0 when that happens. So I don't know if there's a prop here for missing an extra point. We're going to start looking for that in a minute. Let's go for it right now. So let's go here. Passing, receiving, player specials. And I also have FanDuel up because we're going to do a bet off of the FanDuel page because I searched for the bet that I had last week. No, they don't have that there. Rushing props. Rush attempts. I'm looking to see if the prop that I want here is what I want. No, it's not on here. Okay. So we are going to go to kicking if I can find it. Passing, receiving, defense and special teams. Duh. Kicking points over under, tackles and assists, solo tackles, assists, total turnovers. Longest field goal made. No, they didn't have. Okay. So I'm going to give my game result here in a second. Let's go over to FanDuel. And I know this prop is on FanDuel because of the fact that I did this on Sunday and I hit. Had to sweat through the second and third quarters when Saquon Barkley got exactly 15 yards. Let me find it here. Rushing props. Okay, here it is. Saquon Barkley to record 15 rushing yards in each quarter. So if he were to do exactly 15 yards, that's 60 yards rushing. Washington gave up almost 150 yards a game in a regular season. So, and Saquon has been a monster. He was a monster against the Rams. I think he's going to be a monster again here. This is stealing money here. So one thing we're going to take here, we are definitely taking Saquon Barkley. We are definitely taking Saquon Barkley. And let me get this set up here because I'd like to post this on my friend SJ's Discord, partially because I like to, because I tend to not keep my Excel sheets up to date. So I'm going with my first Eagles wager, Saquon Barkley to record 15 plus yards rushing in each quarter, and that is at plus 130. So that is one wager. I got too many windows and tabs open right now. Jesus Christ. Gulfstream Park. There we go. So that's the first wager. I gave you that Buffalo pick here, and my other pick. These two teams know each other. And we also have. I gotta share this tab instead. We also have Washington coming in here on a high after beating the Lions. Now, I personally think if Jalen Hurts did not get a concussion in the first quarter of that game in DC, well, Maryland, Eagles were probably going to put 60 up on the Commanders. And I think that he's going to pass a little bit more. He may get 250, but I think that stat where he throws under 200 yards is not going to be valid anymore. But I think this is going to be a close game. It's going to be uncomfortable. I'm already going to be grouchy as fuck because I got to be up at 3:30 on Sunday to be home for the game because I don't want to be in the air watching the game there on the plane. So I think this is going to be a close game. I really do. But I think what's going to happen is we are going to see almost the same thing towards the end of the game where Saquon Barkley will break a long touchdown and they are going to be painting that right end zone in midnight green because my team, my town, my Philadelphia Eagles will be playing for the Super Bowl in New Orleans in 2 weeks. And ladies and gentlemen, my Philadelphia Eagles will be in the Super Bowl on February 9th. So those are my picks. And you know what? For shits and giggles, nah, let's not. Let's go with the individual ones here. So my NFL picks, Buffalo, plus 105 on the money line. Eagles, -6 at -112. In a game that's going to be very uncomfortable for 3.5 quarters until Saquon puts the game out of reach. And My other bet, Saquon Barkley to record 15 rushing yards in each quarter at plus 130. So those are my 3 wagers for this weekend. Now it's your decision. Do you play these or do you fade them? That's why we call this the Philly fade. So those are your picks